How about now? Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Sound is working. So the reason the sound wasn't working is because I was doing an interview with someone yesterday for my students, and I have to set up the microphone differently. So yeah, sorry about that. And I just had to share on my Facebook. I'm sharing to 3 different places on Facebook now. So okay. Hey John, how's it going? Thanks for the heads up. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's like, no sound, no sound, no sound. Okay, awesome. We're back, and I'm not doing music today. I just felt like that music was very repetitive. It's very limited in the music that you can use on here because you'll get a copyright violation. So nobody wants that. So if you want music, listen to whatever you would like. Hey Frank, thanks. Okay, so in keeping with the fish theme, I thought I would do another fish, and this one jumped out at me. This is another design by Mitch Leeuwe to go with the shark and the octopus that I did before, I guess, and the goldfish. So this crazy looking anglerfish, he looks awesome. So thought I'd model him up. And I hope you all are doing good today. Let's see. How do you go on about creating stylized fur? Well, that's a big question. And I have a full lesson on it, like 2 hours worth of how to make stylized fur in my course. So, but there are a bunch of ways you can use alphas. You can use insert multi-mesh. You can use snake hook brush. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can do it. Okay, so let's get going on this guy. Okay. I was going to start with the mouth and just start to pull stuff around this time. And just kind of get him to where he needs to be quickly, I guess. Thanks, Nightbot. Yes, the ZBrush Summit is coming soon. Not too soon, but pretty soon. And I'm going to be, hey Ian, how's it going? I'm going to be sculpting, so is Ian, right, Ian? I'm going to be sculpting live. So, well, I shouldn't give it away, but I'll be taking part in it. And the 3D character workshop will be sponsoring it again this year, which I'm excited for. Yep. Ian, do you know if we can say anything about that? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if it's a secret or not. This guy looks like a puppet. You know, I've actually thought about making a puppet like this and printing it out on my printer and then wrapping it in felt. Okay, Ian. Yeah, I'll save it until I am sure that I can talk about it. Okay. Wouldn't want to spill the beans. Wouldn't want to be that guy. I don't know why I'm using my mouse. So, there's been some discussion on a thread that Serge Beralt, I can't pronounce his name properly, I'm sure. But over on Facebook, Serge, I don't know if it's Serge or Sergi, but he's a phenomenal designer, 2D artist and 3D artist. He posted on his Facebook thread the other day saying that, hey, look at my new setup is now my old setup. And what he meant by that is he traded in his Cintiq for a tablet. And I kind of want to know what you guys have to say about that. And the reason why I'm asking is because I have some thoughts about that myself. But I want to wanted to have you guys chime in and tell me what you think about that first. Hey heroes, how's it going? Well, the newest Cintiqs are supposed to have really good color. Thanks, Neil. I mean, honestly, everybody has their preference. Some people like the large, some people like the medium. It's like the Goldilocks story, right? Some people like the medium, some people like the small. Me personally, when I used a tablet, I'm a medium guy. I like the medium ones. Because I like as much real estate as I can have both on my desk and on my tablet. A large is too large, in my opinion. Medium is like Goldilocks again, is just right. So, I guess she says the small is just right. But anyway, the medium is good for me. Hey Enzo. Hey Ryan. How's it going? Oh, let's see. I want to give this I love my Cintiq. I'm using it, my personal Cintiq, for my work from home setup. So I bought one of the mini Cintiqs for my home. I like it better than tablet, but I spoil on my 24. Yep. You don't think you'd go back to tablet? That's interesting. So John, is that mainly for your 2D work or your 3D work or both? And the reason I'm reading back your question, John, is because Facebook comments do not get pushed to the other platforms. I'm also streaming on Twitch and YouTube. And Twitch and YouTube, they send their comments back and forth, but I don't think Facebook does. I guess you can see it in my feed above my head, up there. Which is kind of overlapping stuff. Maybe I can slide it. Anyway. You see it on YouTube only partially? Interesting. Oh, you see his comment on YouTube? Move this over. There we go. That's not so jammed in there. Okay. Facebook will restream bot, but it won't take them in. Interesting. So a few of my other friends too, they've kind of migrated back to a tablet. And I know, well, I think Dylan Ekron still uses a tablet, but my friend Danny Williams, Point Pusher, he just went back to using a tablet. And I've been thinking about it myself because I have a 27-inch. Yes, I'm spoiled with this. I kind of worked my way up to it. I bought a smaller one first, and then a 24, and then a 27, each time selling the old one off and getting a new one, until I was finally able to afford this one. And I like it a lot. Don't get me wrong. The thing I love the most is the one-to-one. Like my pen on the screen, I can see right where my pen is, and that's the stroke it's going to make, which I love. That's my favorite part. But the angle that I have to have it at, and the keyboard is underneath, and it's on my standing desk, and my standing desk is slacking because of the weight of everything. So and my other monitor is up above it, so it's yeah, it's kind of, and then I get glare from my lights in my face, so I constantly have to move my head around and squint. And I know it sounds like a first world problem, but I'm wondering if I would like to get my desk real estate back, I guess. Okay. Yeah, Carl, that's what I'm attempting. Okay, let's see. I'm going to Z-remesh this just to get a little more resolution. There we go. Is there any delay in what? Usually Twitch is the fastest, and then Facebook, and then YouTube is the slowest, I think. I'm not sure. There's usually like a 20-second delay. Oh, delay on the screen. No, there's not actually. It's 1-to-1, no delay. There is a slight parallaxing, just barely, but not much. Not enough to go, you know. Yeah, Ryan, that would be awesome. A special desk. I have a special desk that I did on Indiegogo, and they say it handles enough weight, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I have a Cintiq 27 inch. Let's see here. Be a little bigger. Looks like a sad fish. Why are you so sad, fish? You'll be angry in a minute. Sad fish, angry fish. Red fish, blue fish. Oh, I don't want to have paint. A sad purple dory. You think you go back to your tablet? I'm contemplating it. I don't know that I will, but I'm thinking about it. Okay, let's see. And he's got a very much that teacup lower lip, so I'm going to pull that. Oops. Let's do a topological range 2. New marketing idea. Yep. I don't want to close his mouth too much because I'm going to remesh this again. So the thing with the tablet versus Cintiq again is I worked on a tablet for the first 15, 16 years of my career when Cintiqs didn't even exist. I feel like an old guy. Which I turned 50 this month. That tells you how old I am. But I had a little, when the Wacom just barely first came out, they were just these little tiny tablets, and they were like this off-white color, like gray color, and they weren't very big. I had one of those for the longest time, and then I graduated to an Intuos, you know, well, a whole bunch between now and then. But yeah, I used a tablet for most of my career. And well, happy belated, Bob. It hasn't come yet. It's the 25th, actually, is when my birthday is. So anyway, I'm kind of used to the tablet, right? So I'm used to it. There is somewhat of a disconnect, right? Because your tablet's down here and your screen's up there, and you have to use, well, you don't have to, but that's where Lazy Mouse comes in. Lazy Mouse helps you out a lot. If you turn that on, it gives you a more precise stroke. But if you are using a Cintiq, you don't really have to use Lazy Mouse. And like I always say, Cintiqs will speed you up. They won't make you a better artist, right? So when I say speed you up, it means you will only have to do a stroke once, typically, versus like 5 times on a tablet, because you have to do it again and again until you get that correct stroke. But not all the time. Sometimes you get it right off the bat, but it will speed you up. Okay, I don't want to do that yet. I'm so tempted to close his mouth, but I need to get his little angler out there first. Little angler. Okay. Now for this, I'm going to testimate this because I want to pull this out with Sculptress Pro. I prefer the visual screen tablet over the can't see what my hands are really doing type of tablet. You know, that's interesting you say that, because sometimes your hand gets in the way when you're on a Cintiq too. I mean, you can move around and get it to work correctly, but sometimes my hand will get in the way. I'm just like, yeah, I'm used to it now, but in the very beginning, it was kind of a pain. But the colors in the angle, I have to have this at kind of a 45-degree angle. And looking at it straight on, the colors are bright and vibrant. Looking at it at a 45-degree, just by nature, it's tones it down a little bit. Where do you get the 2D reference? This is Mitch Leeuwe. I don't know if you can read that very well. Yeah, Mitch Leeuwe is he's a phenomenal artist, and he has a Patreon. And if you like his art, go check that out. And he's on Instagram. That's his @ Mitch Leeuwe over on Instagram. Check it out. Or you spin your display. I have my display on the big base, so it only goes up and down. I can't spin it out of the way. Reminds me of the digital tutors, very early tutorials for Maya. In fact, I think I still have it on my old drive. Yep, I did 5 tutorials for digital tutors back in the day. That's what got me started teaching, actually. Okay, let's see. Testimate. Here we come. There we go. Oh, thanks, John. I'm glad you decided to hop in. Yeah, I'm right in the middle of really updating the course. I'm re-recording a lot of it. I'm keeping the old stuff there in case you want to watch it, but we're getting, yeah, I'm doing weekly challenges, which have been really fun. You'd like to see more of Kevin Keel's work? Oh yeah, Kevin Keel's great. He just barely put out a zombie today. He just put up a zombie. If you follow him on Facebook, you can check it out. I miss working with that guy. He's awesome. I used to carpool with him. Trying to decide how I want to bend this around. Might use this with AccuCurve. Let's see if I can get her do it. Oh, I got to turn off stroke. There we go. See, and then 0.1, like that probably. There we go. Okay. So if you use this brush, this new brush called Move Infinite Depth, and then you turn on AccuCurve, it's it kind of gives you a little better control as you move stuff around and try and bend stuff down. See that? Because the move brush will give you a different feel. It'll kind of scoot it to the side. There. See, with a move brush, I wouldn't have been able to do that. You know, I don't really like the spiral brush too much. It doesn't give me predictable results. But it's kind of fun to mess around with, but okay. It's a little too heavy. A little too heavy on the angler there, fish. There we go. What version was that brush introduced? I think Ian, help me out. Was it 2021? It's really new. I mean, yeah, AccuCurve's been around for a while, but this Move Infinite is fairly new. Okay, thanks. I couldn't remember. I'm gonna make his lower eyelids separate. Let's do a trim curve. No, let's do the clip curve. The difference between trim curve and clip curve is clip curve will smash the geometry down, and trim curve will like slice it and fill it with triangles. Oh, hold on. Get the right brush. There it goes. See that? It'll slice it and fill it with triangles. So it's better to do the clip curve because, well, sometimes it depends on what you're doing, but because smash geometry is, you can still subdivide it. It looks really sad. Sad and scared little fish. It's okay, anglerfish. Oh, 2020. I didn't really know about it until Dynamo 3D pointed it out to me. He was talking to me about how he makes hair, and he was saying that he uses the infinite move a lot. I was like, infinite move, what is that? Yeah, Ian, I'm in the same boat. I'm just like, what? I swear I learn something new every day. This program is so packed full of secrets. It's like Hogwarts. Oh, the Pavlovich Encyclopedia. That's a thing, I swear. Okay. Now I'm going to keep the fins all separate. I'm trying to decide if I have enough geometry to just keep it like it is and ZRemesh it. Yeah, I just did an interview with Francis Martins, and we talked about clothing for the students, and yeah, there was some stuff that I learned from him. Gosh dang it, I shouldn't do this yet. I keep wanting to do this. Okay, stop it. I need to ZRemesh it. Okay, I think we're good. Hey Jet, how's it going? Hey James. Anastasia. Okay, duplicate. And let's ZRemesh this and see what we get. Is it advisable to put the sculpt against the 2D image to see if they match? Sometimes it depends. If I'm questioning my proportions, I will get it kind of close, and I will turn the opacity up and down just to check to see if I'm even in the ballpark. But usually the perspective in the 2D drawing isn't very similar to this perspective you're using. One, because I don't have perspective turned on right now. And then two, it's just different. So you just kind of have to try and get it similar, not exact. Because usually if you try and get it exact, it's going to look wrong in 3D. You're just trying to interpret it. And what I like to do is just get everything in place first. And then adjust things to, to match, like the proportions and stuff. I hardly use the clay buildup brush, but in instances like this, it feels like I should. I'm at the point where I just pull sliders and trying new brushes to see what it does. Yep. The damn standard with focal shift of 75, huh? Nice. That's awesome, James. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. So if you guys don't know, I'm gonna have to pitch Francis's plugin. So he made Easy Remesh. So Francis made Easy Remesh. You can find this over on ArtStation or Gumroad. I think, yeah. If Neil, would you mind posting a link up there? That'd be grand. Thank you much. Yeah, so we were talking about this yesterday, and it was just really eye-opening just how powerful this plugin is. It's using a whole bunch of just built-in things inside of ZBrush, but the sliders and the algorithms, just the way it stair steps you through everything, it's like tested, and it works really well. So it does a whole bunch of things differently. I can't really go through each and every one of them, but it just makes your ZRemeshing more predictable. But if you go check out the plugin, there's tutorials, and he talks about what everything does in detail. Thanks, Neil. I'm going to build this up to Yeah, it does. It uses polygroup it uses ZRemesher, it uses some tessellation, it does UVs if you want it to. Yeah, it's just got really nice functionality. Okay, let's feel like I'm ready to ZRemesh this at this point. Now the plugin, it doesn't really, it comes into play when you want to do groups. Like use polygroups to do your ZRemeshing. Hey Tom, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to, like if I wanted to control this mouth, not so much the eyes. I don't really care about the eyes too much on this model. But if I wanted to control rings around the mouth, if I do a default ZRemesher, I'll show you what it does. Well, it's actually pretty good. So you can see, I was trying to get it to flow around the mouth like this. That's what I want. And I didn't even have to do anything to get it to do that this time. But if I wanted to use Remesh, I can use black lines on a white model and just draw where I want my rings to go. And then I hit this button, the polygroup it from paint, and it will make groups based off of those lines that you draw. So, okay, now I'm going to take this and half it though. Half it. Because it does have some pretty strange poles, but it's just because of this weird tail getting pulled out here. But I like that. I can live with that. Okay. Oh, I was going to show you. I can hit UVs. And then I think if I do morph UV, no, I think I'd have to easy remesh it. I think it builds the UVs when I remesh it, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, Ian is great. Super good. Okay. Now that I have it low poly, I can adjust it more. Hey Shane, how's it going? Guy with the coolest name ever just showed up. This is where he'll start to look angry. Really pull that mouth down. Yeah, old man angler. Hey. Oh, I accidentally had Sculptress Pro still on. Turn that off. Have you guys seen any fish around here? Been fishing all day. I guess I would like rings around these eyes. Oh well. Are you making an aquarium? You'd think so with all these fish, huh? I just like Neil's, or I like Mitch's designs really a lot. So I've just been, I'm like, oh man, I want to sculpt that one now. That's weird. It didn't do the symmetry on this. Let's do a mirror and weld. I'm gonna go back here. Let's change to the move brush. I'm just trying to make a cup, and then I'm gonna draw a new sphere inside here to be the little angler dangler. What's the right workflow from low poly dynamic subdiv mesh to printable file? Stefano, that is a big question that would take a long time to answer, but I can kind of give you the high level answer, and that is you essentially need to dynamesh your entire thing together to get rid of any interior geometry, and then you would use a decimation master to decimate it so that your file is small enough to send over to a printer. And then you also would think about any kind of what am I trying to say? Any keys that you would need to put in your character too. Okay, 1 second. Thanks, Neil. I will here shortly. It's like a little lantern, little lamp. Oh, right. He's missing a pipe, yep. Oh, let's see. When making a stylized character, do you recommend to make it in a pose versus a neutral pose and then using blend shapes? Actually, I usually will make it in a neutral pose, and then I'll either pose it in ZBrush or I'll take it over to another program like Maya, rig it up, and then pose it there. 3 a.m. in the Philippines, you should be sleeping. Might have mentioned this. How long have you been using this 27-inch Cintiq, and which one is better for sculpting? The 24 or 27? Well, that's a good question. I've had this one for, I think, 3 or 4 years, I want to say. Here, I want it to bend more. Oops. Split this off. I had a 24 HD. I actually sold it to Josh Black. You've seen a bunch of my characters based on Joshua Black's designs. I sold it to him, and I loved the 24, but the screen ratio was off. It wasn't a 16:9 ratio. It was a 24 HD, and it had buttons down both sides with 2 rings on both sides as well. The reason I love that thing so much is because I was able to, with all the buttons on the sides, I was able to slide my keyboard away and put the Cintiq right down in my lap, so I didn't have bad posture. Like the posture with this, I have my keyboard on a slider underneath, and then the 27 on a 45 above it, and my posture isn't the best with this one. The color is a little better, and it's 16:9 ratio, but I wish I had those buttons on the sides. It comes with that little remote, but that remote slides all over the place, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I prefer the buttons. That's just me. I like them better, but yeah, no complaints about it really. I really enjoy this Cintiq. Don't get me wrong. I sound like a complainer. I'm not. I'm just saying these are the things I wish were better about it. Ian did a great stream last night on cutting and keying his BOW2 talus for 3D printing. There you go. that's still too low. I don't know. All right. I haven't seen it yet, Ian. I'll have to check it out. Okay, let's save this guy. There we go. More of a cap. Camcorder, thanks so much. Oh, you just posted it in 3D Character Workshop? Okay, I'll have to check it out. I don't think I've looked in there yet today. Speaking of which, if you guys don't know what Ian is talking about, I teach a course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. And if you want to learn more about it, you can go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and check it out. And it comes with an amazing community of students. I got to show it off. I always love to show off the community, all the amazing work that the students are doing. Upload it. I'll show you really quickly. This is the student community as of right now today. And I have a top row, kind of like ZBrush Central. And yeah, just take a look at all this awesome work. It's so good. So good. So if you're interested in learning how to create characters like this, it's open right now. You can sign up. And as soon as I get the 3D Character Workshop, you probably can't see it, can you? Gosh dang this stupid fix. Hold on a second. I keep forgetting about that. That fix. Okay, let me pull it down one more time so you can see it. Yeah, I have this. I had to do this cursor fix. So, okay, there you go. Now you can see them all. Boom. So this is all the student work right here. Sorry if my camera and my text is in the way. Yeah, I love the hair on this one. So good. So cute. Very good. But very, very active community. Safe place to post. You're not going to get the jerks that are, commenting on all the stuff you post, like on other sites on Facebook and stuff. So yeah. So anyway, if you're interested in creating characters like this, it's a really good time to join. And as what I was saying is, as soon as the 3D Character Workshop 2.0 is finished, I'm going to be raising the price of the course. So if you want to get in now before the price goes up. Okay? Why did this thing? Okay, there we go. Thanks, Neil. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? Thanks, sir. Okay, so let's make these fins. I want to try something with these fins here. You too. Hope you're doing good. Mike is a longtime student. That's the thing is that I didn't really think about when I first made the course. When I made the course, it was just going to be a side thing, right? It was just going to be like, because going from studio to studio, the industry, the game industry or film industry, television, even 3D prints, it's very volatile, meaning if you're, the companies come and go. So you might have to move companies. And I was just going to create some courses just to give me some side income in case I ever had to move studios and I was, lacking income in between those moves. And I made the course, and it was way more popular than I thought it would be. And it has turned into, that's what I do for full time now. So my full time attention is on the course. Let's see. To split unmasked points here. And anyway, the course has been out for, I think, almost 4 years now, right? 2017, I think, is when I first started putting it together. Yeah, get on there, man. Okay, so I'm just making a temporary plane to draw this fin on. Yeah, I guess it turns out people like the way I teach, so I'm blessed with that. Okay. I think I'm gonna testimate this. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Yeah, that's weird. Crazy. Oh goodness, Ian, thank you for that. Kickstarted my whole career. You can learn so much. Well worth it. Thank you, Ian. I really appreciate that. Hello from Spain. Very interested. It looks complicated. Thanks for sharing and explaining how to make it. Any workshop for beginners in computer 3D drawings? I'm quite good in real life drawings. Well, then so my course is for beginners. It's for beginners all the way to advanced, but I have a lot of beginner stuff in there. I even have this one series that is your first day in ZBrush. So I walk a friend of mine, Adam Manoa, through his first day in ZBrush, and you get to follow along and see all the issues that he runs into, and I get to help him correct them. So yeah, it's for beginners as well. Okay, so the reason I wanted to testimate this is just so I could mask it. I want to turn dynamic off. There we go. Are you that guy from that one Twitter, or was it Insta? Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was Ian. Well, it depends on the art, I guess, from it. You know what? I'm going to cheat a little bit. Which drawing tablet? Oh, sorry, we've been talking about drawing tablets this whole thing. This is a 27-inch Cintiq. Anyway, I was going to cheat a little bit, even though this is kind of it's not at the right angle, but I still want to get the shape of it. Turn it like this and just kind of get it in here, because I really want this this profile of this fin, because it's really interesting and I want to get it right. Okay, so now I have to turn spotlight projection back on. Oops. Get my hard paintbrush out. Just paint it down to the surface here. I guess I can make it more, turn down the opacity so I can see it. Hey Matt, you have some feedback on the last lesson? Sure, I'd love to hear it. If you can send me, just respond to the email that I sent out announcing it, and I'll get it. Okay, I'm going to park this back down here. And then turn spotlight back off. Okay, and now we have this fin right here. Starting over this week, as far as the community, it's asking me for an invite code. Yeah, did you get my latest email as well? Just reply to that email and tell me that you need an invite code. And I'll get you one. That's the thing is, the forum is a different login than the course. So I have to invite people by hand. It's the only way I could do it, because it's a different thing. So see, then I can just trace this fin on here. Awesome, Matcha. That's great. Welcome, welcome. Okay, now what I can do is turn off the color. Now I can just see the mask, so I'm masking this off. Okay, so I'm not sure how good this is going to do, but we'll see. Okay, let's save it in case we crash. Has anyone told Pixologic to turn off lazy mouse? I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. I haven't myself yet, but okay. So I'm going to use this Easy Remesher plugin, and I'm going to use this mask it. Okay, so I'm going to look at this and just hit it and see what it does. Oh. How are you reducing your brush size without pressing S? Oh, it's just like Photoshop. I don't know why. It uses the brackets. So I can go up and down with the bracket keys like Photoshop. Okay, so this is the result that it gave me. It's pretty good. And I just want this piece. It's actually a double-sided thing, but I'm going to turn off symmetry and delete half of it. Okay, let me turn on double so we can see what I'm talking about. See how it's got double thickness? You can hit auto groups, hide one of these, delete it. Okay, and then half it. See what it gives me. It might jack it up, but is it not working? I'd like to be able to work at Airborne Studios. That's a great studio. What do you think I should focus on? I want to be a prop environment artist. I have medium experience in ZBrush. Well, I would say focus. I would look at what Airborne makes and then create your portfolio to look, do some stuff that looks kind of like what they do. Because if they're going to hire you, essentially they want to know that you can do the job. So you want to show them that you can do the job. That's what a portfolio is for. I think a lot of people don't understand that or don't get it. So essentially you want to, like they do a lot of Fortnite stuff and, you know, Ratchet and Clank stuff. And so just look at the props and things that you would like to do that they've done, make some similar, like find some concept art that's similar. Don't copy them verbatim, but, you know, just show them that you can do the job that they would need you to do. And then reach out to them and apply. Yeah, I use S most of the time, especially when I'm using the pen. When I'm using the mouse and stuff, I'll use the bracket keys a lot. Okay, so I'm not sure why half it is not working, but I'm going to try it over here. Maybe keep creases. Actually, let me try 2K, half it. So weird. Doesn't want to run. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Turned on half, turned on adaptive. Why does it not want to go? Error mesh does not contain polygons on the major symmetrical side. Aha! Turn off symmetry. Now do it. I bet it'll work now. There we go. Okay, look at that. So much better. Do it again. Do it again. There. Yeah, it doesn't have nicks and things out of it like that, but it's pretty cool. I think it'll work. Okay. The lazy mouse on mass lasso has been annoying. Oh, that's how to fix it, right? Thanks, Neil. Well, thanks. It's taken me a while. It's taken me longer than I thought it should. I want to make his eyeballs bigger and give him some teeth, and I think we'll be there. Yeah. Career for sculpting and designing collectible toys would be great, but I don't think it's very well realistic for me personally. For now, it's just a hobby. It depends. I mean, I've done it for a living. It's possible. Okay, I'm gonna add. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? How you doing? Jimmy in the house. It's been a while, man. You been busy? That fish needs some glasses. A long vacation. Awesome. That's good to hear. That's rare these days. Yeah, Jimmy is an amazing stylized character artist. If you haven't seen his work, please go check it out. It's great. It's a great to study, great to learn from. All right. I mean, it's possible, but with my drive all over the place, plus the fact I wanted to design my own stuff and not a company's isn't very realistic. Yeah, that makes it a little difficult. Struggling with your scopes every day. Oh man. That's every sculpt, right? Okay, you can see it's off center. Let's get it to the center. Nothing wrong with being an avid hobbyist at all. I have a lot of hobbyists as students in my class, in my workshop. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's a really good time to be alive. I'm just going to say that because, you know, growing up in the 80s, you know, 80s, 90s, you always had to go buy your own toys, and now you can just make your own toys and print them yourself. That's just awesome to me. Like, yeah, it's just it blows my mind that that you can even do that, you know? Get rid of, oops. Yeah, it's crazy to me that you can even do that. That's even possible. Print your own toys. What? Okay, so this is the same thickness throughout. I want to make it kind of taper from the back here. Oops. Maybe like that. Okay, let's try that again a little more. There we go. It's like clicking, or it's like stair stepping. I don't want it to stair step because if you cross the center and then try to pull it back, it's going to stick and drag. Oh yeah, James, you're right. So Eamon, he's another live streamer here on the Pixologic channel. I don't think he's streamed for a while, but Eamon is a good friend of mine, and he does his own toy line. Yeah, they're called the Fungosaurs, or Fungosaura. Yeah, Fungosaurs, and they're little like mushroom dinosaurs, the cutest things ever. And yeah, and he designed them and made them, and now he's got his own toy line. So crazy. Okay, so let's do the little spines. This is taking me longer than I thought it would. Bob, what do you think of the ZBrush brush for huge box modeling projects? I just use them for small projects. If I'm going to actually be hard surface modeling in production, I'll still use a dedicated box modeling software like Maya, but it's super duper powerful. Don't get me wrong, but I love to use it if I don't have to leave ZBrush and go somewhere else, and I like to use it that way. But if I was like modeling it depends on what you're going to be doing with it, right? If you're going to be like 3D printing it, then I'll most likely do it in ZBrush. But if I'm going to take it to production, like animation or something, then I might do it elsewhere. There you go. That's a better answer. Okay. So these spines, you know what? I'm going to try something that I've never tried before. Oh. Because Francis, he's got me going on this easy remesh plugin. So I'm going to try something with it. So I duplicated this fin, and I'm going to apply the dynamic, subdivide it up a couple more times. So it's like a 1.5 million something that I can draw a mask on. And I think I might have to delete lower. Yeah, most of the props that I make are just done in ZBrush. So let's see. And then from here, maybe here. Gosh dang. If so, I always say this: you only have one good stroke in your arm, right? And what that means is your arm only pivots from one location, which is either your elbow or your wrist, and you only have one good arc, right? So you want to line up your model, and in ZBrush you can do that because you can flip it all the way upside down like this. And I just want to get a better angle on my right arm stroke. And if you're left armed, then you or left-handed, you can rotate it the opposite way and get a better stroke that way. But I like the ability to just like spin my models around on, what is it called, trackball navigation. And as soon as at first it was really difficult for me to get used to trackball navigation, but now that I'm used to it, I want it in every other program that I use. Okay, I don't want to take these too thin up here because I want to extract them. Okay, I'm going to sharpen these up. Okay, I do have it on both sides. I only need it off of one side. So I'm going to turn off symmetry and just unhide or turn off the mask on the other side. Okay, and then I'm just going to slice these off. The mask, I mean, off the bottom. It's not going to grab that top one, but that's okay. Okay, let's see what we get. Crossing our fingers. Let's save this. I save it. Okay, let's try it. Here we go. Mask it. And Twist Pro Small is just fine. Whatever does the job. You know, you don't have to have, it's the, like I have this tablet. Oh, hold on a second. See this? I don't know if you can see that in the little camera down there. See this little tablet? This is the tablet that ships with, it was a bundle that you could get with ZBrush Core. It was a bundle that came with that little tablet, and that tablet is just as capable of sculpting as my Cintiq is. I think we froze. No, okay, sweet. Look at that. Boom. You know, there can always be something better, but what I'm trying to say is you can get away with it, you know, what you have, and just be fine. Okay, so with these, I'm going to delete everything that's not these spikes. See if I can do it this way. I'm going to half it. There we go. And then uncrease all. Put them all in the same poly group. and Q mesh it back. There we go. And then turn on dynamic subdiv. And there are our spikes. We can get them cleaner. The program where you work is, and where do I find your workshops? So this program is called ZBrush, and 90% of my course is taught using ZBrush. And you can find my course over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Oops, looks like I didn't fill my fin with pink. Actually has a gradient to it. We'll do that gradient later. Oh yeah. Okay, why is this not the easy remesh with UV? Yeah, it's super cool. So since this was on an angle, it's like my spikes are at an angle. I'm just going to mirror and weld it and see what it looks like. It's going to be a mess, I'm sure. Did it just go away? Oh, that's right, because it's on this side. Okay. We need to mirror it first. Then mirror and weld it. There we go. That works. How's your hard and soft paintbrushes made? Just changing the focal shift? Yeah, the focal shift and the RGB values. Like with the hard paintbrush, it's just turned up all the way. And with the soft one, it's turned way down because I don't want it to be super strong. But if you want these brushes, you can go get them for free over on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. It comes with my user interface and these brushes if you want to play around with them for free. Okay. I want to smooth these just a little bit. Is there a way to change the camera rotation point? I want to see the surface from different angles without having to navigate back to it every time. How you adjust the camera pivot point is by touching the surface of your model. So you have to have the subtool active, and then what I usually do is I hold down shift for smoothing, but I don't smooth, I just tap on the surface, and then the camera will pivot from that point. So if I tap over here, it's going to pivot from that point. See that? So just pick a pivot point out in space and your camera will pivot around that point. Oh yeah, my class does not include ZBrush. You'll have to buy ZBrush. That's true. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, it doesn't come with ZBrush. It's just the instruction. Okay. Oh, so right here, well, this is on my user interface, but you'll want to find this local transformations. If this is turned off, then yes, your pivot point won't work anymore, but with the method I just showed you. You can find that under transform, local transform. That's where that button is. Okay, I'm going to scale these eyes up really quick. Oops. And then we'll really get in there. I feel like I'm taking too long today. Like a lot of chatting. I appreciate the chat though. Don't get me wrong. I kind of want his eyes to bulge too. Bulgy eyeballs. There we go. That feels better. All right, you know what? I'm just going to go back to Sculptress on this body so I can get some of these details in there. I think I might even make him asymmetrical. How do you deselect the items not to be scaled or moved? Just with your Control Shift keys, just like with your hide. If you want to hide and show things, it's Control plus Shift. So essentially, James, I think the next week will just be me, but I'm not sure. Let's see. But yes, I want to do a review. Okay, so if I go into this pizza box mode, which is transpose all selected subtools, see I'm just holding Control plus Shift and you can just click on different objects. So that's hiding those, showing those, or you can drag out here and let go and it will invert the whole thing. So then you can just select the ones you want. Like that. Yeah, Pixel, I already did a shark. Wish granted. Okay. Okay, I want to grab this color. So let's fill it with this one first. Yeah. Okay, and then grab this color down here. I'm going to use this trick that Ronnie showed me, where you zoom way out, and then you can mask. And it should give you a nice blend. There you go. See that nice blend? I can fill it with this dark pink color. Now we have that nice blend. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you know that trick, Ian? If you're still here? Okay. Has it done? What is a blobfish? I don't know what a blobfish is. You didn't know that? Yeah, so yeah, my friend Ronnie, he worked at Hasbro for a while, but he just like if you zoom clear out, you can get that nice blend on your mask. So what's new? Have you been vacationing? Vacation coming up? Or are you taking care of your students? Yeah, I'm taking care of my students. The latest thing I did was mountain biked at Sundance. There's Sundance Ski Resort. It's a local ski resort, and they have it's summertime, so there's no snow, so you can put your mountain bike on the lifts, and they'll take you up, and then you can ride your bike down. That was really fun. I think Mitch he's done like crabs and lobsters and axolotl and all sorts of crazy cool fish. Let's see. Split MS points and octopus that I did. Last week, I think. Was it last week? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of sea creatures. He's done some eels and yeah, different crabs. I like this ZBrush method. I like it. Masking and hitting Yeah, it works out pretty well. And I'm going to save this cube because I'm going to use it for these fins. So let's duplicate it and hide it, and then go back to this. So I need this to have enough. This is just a simple cube. It doesn't have enough geometry in the center to do a mask on. If I try to mask it, it's not going to work. Repeat this video. If you want to watch these again, you can find them up on Pixologic's YouTube channel. Shouldn't the spikes be like bones and the fin is skin between those, kind of like dragon wings? Yeah, so pretty much. That's kind of how it is. But this is stylized character, so it's more about the design than like the actual functionality, but that's kind of what this is supposed to be doing. The fin is probably still too thick. I need to thin it out. But usually I model my characters with the intention to 3D print them, so I don't want to make it too thin, or then it won't print. Okay, so to fill this with some sort of density, I like to do a tessellate on it. Let's close this, open this, and there you go, something like that. Does your workshop focus on stylized characters? Yes, just stylized characters. I don't teach realism at all. Okay, I'm putting this right at the edge there. And now I have enough that I can do a mask on it. Okay, let's see. Boop. How about you, Jimmy? What did you do on your vacation? Anything fun? On 3D printing, do you have to convert to geometry before estimation? Yes. So, do you have to convert the geometry? There's some things you have to do to it for sure. You have to make sure it's solid. So we call it watertight. And then you have to decimate it. Decimation, yeah. I thought that's what you meant. Decimation, yes, you have to decimate it, but you have to make sure it's solid first. You don't want to have any gaps or holes or anything like that, or thin parts. And then you decimate it, and then send it to the printer. Okay, that's not the perfect shape I want. That's a little better. Okay, so now let's try this again. Mask it. All right, Jimmy, no worries. Thanks for dropping by, man. Always a pleasure. Okay. Half it again. All right, and then we can just fine tune this. Thanks, Neil. Okay, I'm gonna mirror and weld that. Delete or turn off the creases and then smooth it just a little bit. Oh, I think the normals are reversed on this thing. Yep, they are. Okay. Visibility. Flip normals. There we go. Sometimes if you're ever using the inflate brush and it's not inflating, it's deflating, check your normals to make sure they're facing the right way. I want this to be bigger though. Yeah, his Robin Hood models are fantastic. All right, James, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, you want to save it before you hit the flip button too. Yeah, it tends to crash when you do that. All right, let's give him some, remember that cube we saved? Go back to that cube and move it. Let's move it to this side. Kind of put it in place. And we can do a mirror and weld. Something like this. Before we testimate it, we can kind of get it into the shape we want just to test it out. Oops, I didn't have mirror on. That's okay. He's like Nemo now, one little fin and one big fin. Okay. Okay, so how do we fix this? We just go mirror, and then mirror and weld. So you got to mirror it because mirror and weld only mirrors from left to right, screen left to screen right when the character's facing you. So since I'm working on this side, I had to mirror it first and then mirror and weld it back. Okay, so now I need enough geometry on here. Again, you just rinse and repeat. Go back to Tessimate. It's interesting it put the, it's all creased. What the heck? I don't know why it decided to crease everything, but it did. And lower, lower, lower. Okay. That should work. All right. So now we can just, again, mask out that shape on there. Doesn't have to be perfect. And after you have your mask, I keep forgetting to turn on symmetry, dang it. Do I have any quick tips for sculpting elderly people? You know, I don't. The only reason why is because for me, I don't think about, well, how am I going to sculpt this thing, or, you know, how do you sculpt elderly versus a dog versus a elephant or whatever it is. It's just a matter of looking at the reference and sculpting what you see. So, you know, elderly people, I just look at the reference, get a bunch of reference. It's going to be more wrinkles, of course, and more saggy skin and things like that. But yeah, just find a good reference and sculpt like the wind. Okay, I'm gonna have to do the same thing. Whoops, it's masked, so I'm just gonna do everything over here on this one side, and then I'll mirror it over. So let's do the mask it now. Might even work out better this way. Delete hidden, half it. Pull these out a little bit. Yeah, sculpting something isn't, I guess the workflow isn't really that different between things, you know, like the subject matter, unless it's hard surface, then the techniques get a lot different. But if it's organic, sometimes the techniques will get different if you're doing curly hair versus straight hair or bald or whatever. I mean, the techniques will get different, will change, but not too much for the most part. I like that better. Yeah, I do. I use it a lot. I'm using it even more because I just barely did an interview for my students with the author of that plugin. His name's Francis. I can't say his middle name. I'd say Xavier, but it's not that. Martins. He goes by Polyjunkie. And during this interview, he showed us how he uses the plugin. And so now I've kind of adopted it to my workflow. It's really nice. Okay. Mirror. Is a pen tab necessary for ZBrush? Yes. In my opinion, yes. Because a pen tablet has sensitivity levels and a mouse does not. Yeah, so Jacob, are you getting my emails then? If you're in the workshop and you got the emails, that was the very, very latest video that I did. And the link for it's right in that email. What tablet? This is a Cintiq 27-inch. Yeah, it was a training session we did yesterday with him. So it was really new. Let's see, did I not uncrease? There we go. You go to my spam folder. Go to your spam folder. That's not fun. Jacob, if you want, just reply to that email, and then it'll put you on the no spam list. So then you'll get them. I need to really figure out a way to stay out of people's spam boxes. I really try not to be a spammer. Okay, So let's do, I'm going to duplicate this body again. Look, I have 3 of them. I'm going to go delete this one. Where it started. Is there a video? Well, this is my teaching style. I pretty much do just this exact same thing, but in the workshop, much more detailed. Okay, let's see. Ah, yes, thank you. Okay, let's do, the reason I want to duplicate the body is because, but in the course I get, yeah, like I said, I get way more detailed and I interview people and yeah, we have a lot of fun in there. And the original course is actually scripted and it has a bunch of text and pictures and stuff like that. It acts more like an encyclopedia. Do you have designs and tasks? No, I teach techniques because I want people to be able to sculpt any character they want to. I do cover, let's see, how many do we have now? We have Kate and Sirloin and soon to be more, but I have several characters that I walk you all the way through as examples, but essentially I'm wanting you to go find a concept that you are passionate about and then show you ways to sculpt that thing, right? And then get feedback on it. The biggest way for you to get better is by getting feedback. So we have a thriving student community in there, and everybody gives each other feedback, including myself. So that's kind of the way I designed it. There are weekly challenges so I'm re-recording the entire course, calling it 2.0, and I'm doing these weekly challenges. So the first challenge was a Saturday morning cartoon blockout, where you block out a Saturday morning cartoon character, and then I give you the instruction on how to do it, and then you're supposed to do that in a week, and then the next week is stylized anatomy, and then the next week is how to put it all together, and it just kind of continues and builds on itself from there. And as soon as I get that recorded, as soon as I get 2.0 recorded and done, I will be raising the price, just so you know. So now is a great time to get in. I've had it the same price since I started 4 years ago. It's been going for 4 years. And I've more than doubled the content in the course since then. I would say tripled. Would you guys? I don't know. I haven't added it all up, but it's a lot. So I'm not going to raise it a lot, but I am going to raise the price because it's just, yeah, the value is way outweighs what's there, or the cost, I mean. And I'm also going to be adding an accelerator program pretty soon. I keep talking about it, but it's coming soon, as soon as I get it all ready and set up. And that is more for more feedback. And I'm bringing on more industry professional coaches to help out. Graham. Thanks, man. Oh, that's funny. That's a good review right there. Too funny. Okay, sorry this build's going so slow. Just kind of taking my time a little bit more with this one. Okay. And the reason I duplicated it is because I want to go back to Sculptris Pro and detail these things out. Geez, you guys. I'm going to copy some of these, if you don't mind. All right, save that for later. I like to save nice comments about the course, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go tessellate this thing. Oh, gotta delete lower, then we can tessellate it. There we go. Thanks, Alec. Easy, guys. I should keep you guys around. Where do you want me to send the checks? What kind of 3D printer do you recommend for a beginner? Well, I recommend any of the Mars printers or the photon printers, the Anycubic, like Anycubic Photon. What are the names of those Mars printers? They do very, very small, cheap resin printers. You want a resin printer, resin based. And they're like, I think you can get an Anycubic Photon for around 160 US dollars. Super, super nice printer for the price. And the Elegoo Mars. Thank you, Ian. So yeah, super good. How long have I been modeling? 23 years, I think it is now. So I used to do point pushing in Maya and 3D Studio Max, and yeah, I've been box modeling for the majority of my career. And I've also been an animator, and I've done rigging, and now I'm pretty much just a sculptor. And then if you can afford it, I highly recommend the Formlabs printers. So like the Form 2, Form 3, you can find them used or new. I have a Form 3 and a Form 2. I love them. Love them. Okay, let's see. You still use your Form 2? I do. Yep. I like it a lot. There's not that much difference between the Form 2 and the Form 3, honestly. I think I need to scale this whole scene up because I'm running out of geometry. Is the wash necessary? In my honest opinion, no, it's not. You can wash your stuff in a little Tupperware thing full of alcohol. So isopropyl alcohol, not denatured alcohol. But I would say the bake is necessary, like the UV light bake. I mean, you can take it out into the sun. That's the cheapest way to do it, but it will bake too quickly and it will crack sometimes. So I recommend the cooker. And both, yeah, not bourbon, not Jack Daniels. Did I make different portfolios for rigging, modeling, and animation? I did have an animation portfolio when I was an animator, yes, but I don't have it up anymore. And rigging, I didn't do enough of it to really have a portfolio. I rigged all the characters for what is it called? It's like Narnia. I worked on a Narnia game back in the day. I rigged most of the characters for that. Okay, let me scale this whole thing up. Where are you, Gizmo? There you are. Okay, I'm gonna pull the whole thing down to the floor and then scale it up quite a bit. Yeah, the Anycubic. I have one that I've never used. It's just sitting in my closet. I bought one on a sale, but since I have the form printers, I just don't use it. I wanted to use it just to test it out so I can tell my students and show them how to use it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I still plan on it, but I'll probably end up selling it. Oh, let's see. How to get way up there? Well, if you go get my free brushes, it comes with a free project too, and it comes with my ruler project, and the ruler has a sphere in it because I usually start with the head of a character, and the head is about where a regular character's head would be, and that's where I started, and that's where the fish it was, so it was clear up there. So that's why I pulled it down and scaled it up. And the Sculptress resolution is based on the scene size. So now if I smooth, you can see that the triangles are a lot smaller because I scaled the character up. I just wanted to fill some of this with more detail. So then I could sculpt it. He still looks kind of sad. I need to make him angry. But I'm going to make him asymmetrical. I don't want to pull his eyebrow down too much yet because I'm trying to leave him symmetrical for as long as possible. So much interesting information. Thank you. Did we do the teeth yet? Not yet. Still need to add them. I can add those now, though. It's almost time. I got 10 minutes left, so might as well add them. That'll make him feel more angry, huh? Okay. So my user interface also comes with this insert primitive brush right here. It comes with all these primitives. And there's this one that I like a lot. Here, let's grab the color. So it's already there. Oops. I didn't fill this fin with that color yet. Hold on. Okay, now grab this yellow. Grab the primitive brush. This is just kind of an elongated sphere. See that? What I like to do. I like to make the teeth with. And I know his teeth are way asymmetrical, so I'm going to start out with them mirrored and then adjust them from there. But if you use this AccuCurve, this move infinite depth with AccuCurve on, you can get these to be really sharp very easily. Oh, I don't mean to Sculptress Pro them just yet. All right, Ian, thanks for hanging out, man. Food is good. Oh, local symmetry. Have a good one. Okay, I'm going to turn off symmetry. auto group this. I really like this brush. You have to be careful with it though, because it shoots move infinite shoots all the way through your model, and it will affect things on the opposite side. So you just need to be careful with it. During the workshop last year, and I had some news I wanted to share with you. What's the best way of reaching you? If you could just send me an email at shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com, that would be grand. And I hope your news is that you got hired at a cool place. That's my most favorite news, because my student success is my success, you know? I've had quite a few students get hired on at different companies like Blizzard. And Ian that just left, he just got hired on at Funko not too long ago. Yep, thanks, Neil. There you go. There's the address. I just interviewed Ian too for us. I did a student success interview with him, and it was really, really good. Ian's great. Yeah, he has great streams. Yeah, Matt, you're getting close, man. It's difficult too, because a lot of it has to do with like where you live, what opportunities are around. A lot of it's timing, a lot of it's networking. Waiting to hear back from one of my students today, hoping he just barely interviewed. And that's part of the acceleration program that I'm going to be offering too. Is I've been thinking about what I would want as a student if I was just starting out today, and I just want somebody to ask questions, you know, somebody that I can ask questions to that is a professional in the industry, like, you know, what should I wear to an interview? Just simple things like that, because the gaming industry and the toy industry and the film industry, they're so much different than any other industry out there. That's it's questions like that you're just like, should I wear a suit and tie to this thing? Should I wear just a gaming t-shirt? You know, what should I wear? So it's questions like that that you don't really think about until you're in it. And I'm just like, I would like to have somebody around that I could just ask those questions. Or how much should I charge for freelance? Or should I even take this freelance job? Or, you know, I have this opportunity to move clear across the ocean. Should I do it? That kind of thing. And so I'm hoping to make a platform where people can join and ask those questions and get solid answers. So yeah, what to wear to an interview? Usually, because I've had business classes in college before, and they're always like, you gotta wear a suit and a tie. But if you wear a suit and a tie to a game interview, they're going to wonder if you're serious or not. They're going to be like, who's this stuffy guy or girl or whatever, you know? Not that girls wear suits, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it does show that you're serious about the job, but also it's like, well, you're too new to even know that you don't have to wear a suit to your interview in this industry. Nice. Nice. Oh, so cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, please send me an email because I'd like to reach out to you and talk to you about it. Please send me an email. That's awesome. Congrats. That's the greatest news ever. So cool. You just made my day. Thank you very much. So cool. So if they wear button-up shirts and pants, do the same, but add a tie and a belt. I've worn game t-shirts. I'm not saying do this, but once you get enough, I don't want to say clout, but clout, once you get enough clout in the industry, you can essentially show up wearing pretty much what you would wear to work at any day of work, you know, like a gamer t-shirt or something like that. So yeah, it's not really necessary to go crazy with what you wear, but when you're fresh out of school or it's your first job in the industry, you just don't know those things. A polo shirt's fine. Button-up shirt's good. A suit, probably overkill. Also, as part of, I just want to say this really quick, as part of the 3D character workshop, I have a top row in the student community, just like a lot like the ZBrush Central. But what I do is, if you make it to the top row, I push out your art to be seen on the 3D character workshop Instagram. And one of my students actually got hired because they saw their work on my Instagram, which was cool. So that's kind of another little perk. Yeah, not that much clout. I'm just saying, after you've been in the industry a while and you kind of know the people that you're going to be interviewing with, it's not, you kind of just, you already know the people. So it's not like you have to go, and usually they'll take you to lunch or something like that. You just kind of have a casual conversation and talk about, the job and what it entails and what you're going to be doing and that kind of stuff. It's not about it's not about what you're wearing as much as what you can do for the company. I think a lot of people forget that, or they just don't think about it. The whole thing is like, just think about, put yourself in the shoes of the person who's hiring. They usually have a product or game or toys or something that they need to get done, and they just need people to be able to have the skills to get that product or project done, and they just need to know that you can do the work. That's it. So that's what a portfolio is all about. Okay, I think we've reached our time. We're almost done with this guy now. Just need to give him those crazy eyes and some textures on the surface here, a couple lines down the fins. And we're pretty much there. I want to make his lips stick out even more. I want to pull it out more, like out to about here. Like stick it way out because it's funny, you know, it's exaggerated. But yeah, and then pose his eyebrows. That's probably the last thing I'm going to do. Pose the eyebrows and then do all the texture work. So, all right, guys, that's about it for me. So thanks again for hanging out with me. Thanks again, Neil, for all the links. And that's a huge shout out to Art of Ortega. That's awesome, man. Super cool. Made my day. Please send me an email and I'd like to talk to you some more about it. So, all right, you guys. And as always, I give away my brushes, my user interface, my project file for free. You can grab that over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I also have the online course that I've been talking about this whole time. You can go check out that as well, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Thanks, Matt. Take care, guys. We'll see you next Monday. All right. Cheers. Bye.